I was just sitting here thinking, it's like, what fond memories do you have with your grandparents, whether they're alive or not? I have one grandma who's still alive right now, and I remember, greatly remember always visiting her house when I was little, up until my grandpa, her husband, passed away in '94. But every Sunday, the whole family would get together, all the uncles, the aunts, the cousins. When we were little, would always get together, and the men, the uncles, they would always barbecue. Uh, they would always barbecue. And us being little, we're little kids, so we're being mischievous. We'll be going into places in grandparents' house that we weren't supposed to be going to. Grandpa getting on us for that, but hey, we were little, so we would do all that stuff. There was an open field right behind my parents' house where me and my cousins would go and play. I remember we would always play X-Men. We would always play X-Men, and I would always be Wolverine. I would always be Wolverine, and we would always just play back there, getting all dirty, and then going to eat once the food was done. But I can still just picture everyone there just cooking, and me and my cousins just running around. It was a great time. And my grandparents' house, it wasn't too big, especially like in the dining area, living room area. So, and we were a large family, a lot of uncles and aunts, so a lot of kids. So we'd have to squeeze into that the dining room and the living room. But I still remember the shapes of the seats, and I don't know if I can't describe them right because they weren't ordinary seats in the kitchen. In the dining room. They were kind of, I don't know, I can't describe them, but I remember just sitting on them. I still remember the layout of their house, the attic, which also was also a room. There was also a bed up there. It also had a balcony. Tell you what, though, I was terrified of that attic. Terrified, because of the stories that the uncles would talk about it. Scary stories about it. And I remember this one time we stayed over for Christmas, and since it was pretty cramped in there, a lot of us had to stay up in the attic. So I was one of them. So I remember, and you would walk up the stairs. They were the stairs. It was not wide at all. So you would go around, and it would creak as you would step up, and I remember just not wanting to be there because you would just hear all these noises, and it was an old house too, and so you would hear these creaks and the plumbing, but you're a little kid, so you're freaking out thinking it's something else. I remember too them telling stories about how off the balcony that an owl who would take a form of a human would go and take people from the balcony, be la chusa. So the Mexican folklore, but obviously that's probably never happened at my grandma's house. But they would always tell us that just to scare the crap out of us. But there's just so many memories there, because we would spend there every Sunday since I was little, up until '94, until my grandpa passed away. And then honestly, that's when it really just stopped, and we weren't doing that anymore, which is kind of a bummer, because that's when me and my cousin started to really separate from each other, because we just weren't seeing each other. We're still little, so like we can get up in a car and just leave to see each other. It wasn't nothing like that. But man, those were some great times. The house is still there. I know my grandma no longer lives there. She lives with my aunt. But I know that they do plan on selling it, which is, it kind of sucks because, so many memories there. But I don't know what will be the outcome of it. Hopefully whoever buys it won't knock it down. But I don't know. But there's so many memories in that house. But yeah, I mean, what memories do you have, being with your grandparents? And they were just so fun, so let me know in the comments. Let me know. Let's have a conversation. All right, so thank you for watching.